Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NRL SC Off the Bench podcast. We're coming to you live just as the team list Tuesdays are dropping. They're dropping just as we're speaking. I haven't had a look yet, so you get to see all our reactions and just see what surprises are in store. And of course, today the helm is going to be driven by Rossco. This is normally his show. So, Rossco, you take it away, mate. How are you going?
Yeah, afternoon, Brad. First of all, thank you for those who are tuning in. I know it's going to be a bit difficult being 4 p.m. During the day and 3 p.m. for those up in Queensland and wherever else, but we just thought we'd take this opportunity to bring this live just for the fact that nobody else is doing a live TLT podcast anymore. I know that Sangster and the boys used to do one. They don't do it live anymore either, so we thought we would make the most of this opportunity. If you have got any questions or any trade questions, chuck them in the comments. Otherwise, we'll have all this uploaded, to our Spotify and all the other pages later on for those who will miss out on seeing this live. So let's kick into it, Brad? First game should be an absolute cracker. I'm expecting the Panthers to bounce back in this one in a big way after they just thought they were going to turn up and knock off the Roosters last week. So for the Panthers, they've got Dane Laurie in at fullback for Dylan Edwards, who's out injured with a groin injury. Brad Schneider comes onto the bench. Isaiah Papali also joins the bench. He returns from a hip injury in round 2. Matt Heisenhuth goes to the reserves, and Blaise Talangi is the 18th man. For the Storm, Nasser's listed in amongst the reserves as he comes back from his 5-game ban. The only change is Will Warbrick's out injured, replaced by Grant Anderson on the wing. Brad, I know there's a few people interested in some Storm players in this game. Given that there's players who you need to trade out like Duffy and guys like that, is this the game to look at your guys like your Howarths and your Pappies and your Munsters in particular? I really like, if you can go Duffy to Munster, I really like that trade this week.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Munster in another week's time does have a fair bit of cash to make if he gets a reasonable score this week. The other one, of course, is Pappy. He should also he had a good first game, so score-wise. So his price is also reasonably discounted. So if you're feeling a bit shaky on the old turbo front, or maybe he might be an option, but geez, that would be a luxury trade, but we'll get to that. Probably the one that really stands out is Jack Howarth. At only just over 400,000, he probably is the one that, to me, looks really, a buy. Definitely one you probably should be considering.
Yeah, I think the way, like I said, I don't expect Penrith to play ever again the way that they did last week. Even Ivan came out and said in the press conference that they'd lost that game before they went on the field. I think they had the whole thing that they just turn up and they were going to win that game. And to the Roosters' credit, obviously, as we discussed on the pod on Sunday, that did not happen. But I will say that I thought that their edges were a bit average in that game against the Roosters too, so that could be good for Jack Howarth. If you can pull that Purdue to Jack Howarth trade, Brad, that is absolute mint, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, just a quick hello. We do have a couple of people who have already tuned in.
All right, lovely.
We've got Mr. Biggest Dickus. G'day, Biggest. I don't know who you are, but
who is that?
Thanks for tuning in.
Big Ted even. We've even got Big Ted. I love it. Oh, lovely.
Thanks for
G'day to Teddy. G'day to Teddy. It's about 7 o'clock over there in New Zealand now too, so he's probably getting ready to have his dinner.
Yeah. Well, it's 6 o'clock, I think, 2 hours for them.
I thought now, you might be, yeah.
He's coming 76 out of 732 in the off the bench league. Not bad.
Nice.
Yeah, we get
nice.
All right. And in this game, he's got 4 Coates. He's on Coates. I don't know how expensive you coach because he's got absolutely no support. But if you like a rib, man, he's all right. But
I can't imagine he'd be cheap. I don't have the thing open at the moment, but I would say he's not cheap. As we all know, he doesn't have a great base either. So, yeah. All right, should we move on to Yep. Should we move on to the next game now, Brad, or anyone else you want to speak about before we scroll on to the next one?
Look, Dane Laurie, if you've really got big balls, Dane Laurie had, I will just quickly mention it, he's got an average of over 90 when playing fullback, which he did a bit last year when Dylan Edwards was out. But geez, it'd be a ballsy move too. But over 90 average is huge, you know. But
I tell you what. If they had an easier game this week, I think that would be very feasible. I don't like the matchup though. That's the only thing that concerns me.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right, let's go through the next one, shall we? This game is the Warriors versus the Roosters. If the Roosters play like they did last week, they're very much a chance in this game, Brad. For the third week in a row, the Warriors have got no changes. They just had a nice win last week against Manly. I know. Yeah. For the Roosters, they get back Lindsay Collins from illness. Spencer Leni's back from suspension. Victor Rally's back from his concussion protocol. Makatoa, Loselu go to the reserve list, and Savala to 18th man. That's some decent in for the Roosters, Brad.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. Whereabouts does Radley come back in? He comes straight back in at number 13.
Comes back straight back to lock, yeah. Wong's still on the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, Wong's still there, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, they're still missing some players, aren't they? Don't forget Nat Butcher's still got to come back into that team too.
Yeah. A couple of interesting ones with the benches and extended bench. Lindsay Smith is listed in the 17 spot. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually starts over Spencer Leniu. Nofu White, it could affect his minutes as well. I probably, if he didn't have to play White this week, I probably might stay. No. He's still going to be making you cash. So you definitely want him in your team. Don't even consider trading. But with that bench makeup, I'm not real. Oh man, it's a bit scary. And Billy Smith, he's learning hard down there in the extended bench as well, which is
I think I don't see decent minutes like you for White this week with the bench that they've got in particular. So, as you said, there could be a late switch there where Collins comes in and starts and White goes to the bench. I still think he'll get, maybe around about, what do you reckon, Brad, 40 minutes for White?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to change a huge amount, but it is a little bit, you've got to Lindsay Collins is a starter normally. Spencer Leniu doesn't start much. I think it's probably
Brad, talk to me about this PPM beast. Are we going to actually see some decent minutes out of him soon? Because I can't get rid of him. I've got no one to trade him to. Dominic Fayamuga.
Yeah, the big Dom. Maybe Ted can tell us what the talk is over there, over the ditch in New Zealand about him. I mean, what's going on with the coach there, man? Like, what the fuck? Seriously, he's got these players on the bench, which he's playing for about 10 or 12 minutes, and they're losing a game, right? So you think, you're behind, you'd start put on some of these. Like, this bloke's a huge beast. I just don't quite understand his bench rotations. I don't understand the minutes that he's playing. All of his forwards, it's completely, he's gone away from what he did last year, it seems, in the early rounds. But I'm keeping hold of Dom at the moment, so he just might be my one bad one that I have to hold on to this year.
Yeah, I've still got him too, and unless there's someone to trade him to, he can just stay in my team and collect dust, Brad, as far as I'm concerned. Anyone else you want to speak to with this game?
No, not really. What has Ted said about
just quietly? Sorry, Brad. Just quietly. Connor Watson's been plugging along nicely too.
There you go.
Bastard.
Ted's put in the same as what I sort of
there you go.
Sort of said, Dimitri, at least the coach needs to put down the weight and actually get to and playing for a few minutes there. He's but don't forget. I'll tell you one thing that is interesting there. Again, if you had some mighty big nuts about you, Wade Egan is a really, really interesting option. He's not quite as expensive as the other premium hookers, but he's about the only premium hooker running around at the moment that has no challenges for his position on the bench. Nobody here. Dylan Walker, Jackson Ford, Dimitri, and Lika. I don't even know who that is, actually. But it looks like an all-forward bench to me. So, Wade Egan. And Wade Egan is, I think he put up 100 last week and not far off the week before. So, he's actually getting some very good numbers just quietly.
We all listen, Brad. We all know what's going to happen if we bring him into the team. We all know exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, going to get knocked out.
Yeah,
he's good for it. Bronco.
I think to be honest with you, Brad, I'd rather take the punt and just make a quick cash grab on Tom Starling.
Well, Mr. Biggest is going to. He's indicated whoever Biggest is.
Jesus Christ!
He's a big nut, so he's going to be bringing him in.
Jeez. All right, where are we at? Broncos and the Cowboys. Katoni States is not listed in amongst the reserves. He's closing on a quad injury. I'd imagine Shibasaki would be the one who makes way. I'm hoping it's going to be Dean Mariner, fingers crossed, but who knows what they're going to do. But other than that, it's the same 17 for the Cowboys. Oh, apparently this is a massive boost. Talmalolo comes back into the team at prop. Nanai's back after being banished to Queensland Cup last week off the bench. Jake Clifford takes the 7 jersey. Tom Duff is going. Go on, Brad.
Well, there's your first trade you're going to make this week, folks. Do it.
Yep. Braden Burns out with a hamstring. Braden Burns out with a hamstring injury. Robert Derby comes onto the wing. And McIntyre will come onto the bench after starting last week while Carl Lawton and Edwards have made the way.
It's all very interesting, sort of a there's so much to look. Robert Derby, don't get tempted to go in this week. I think it's going to be attack reliant, and the Cowboys don't have any attack at the moment. And
definitely
Derby, for all his talent, we're actually expecting him to possibly start the year, and he didn't. But you've got 2 weeks. You've got another couple of weeks, actually nearly 3 weeks, basically, before you have to consider getting on him, which he might be okay in about 3 weeks' time. Quite a few people. I've seen a few trades were getting in Pakes. I wouldn't do that. That's a trap. That's a big trap. Trap. Over that one. So you got a few other cheap hooker options that you should be considering before Corey Pakes. If you started the year with him, good on you, but and take the money, but don't bring him in now. The jet ski starting. What on earth is going on there?
So the rumors were today from training that he was training. Well, he wasn't training with the main squad, and Piakura was. So obviously, then everyone thought. But doesn't mean there won't be a late switch, Brad. There could be a late switch. I don't know. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be selling the jet ski. He's got money to be made still. Just wouldn't play him, even if he is starting. I still wouldn't play him. The other one too is Reece. The other one too is Reece Walsh, Brad. I used definitely a hold this week. I would not be selling him this week against that Cowboys team.
No, absolutely. There's not much we can really say there. And the couple of people who are watching, they're all over. In fact, Big Dickus is getting.
Hang on a minute. Is this Dave London's bloody burner account or what?
Don't go there.
My God.
You spoiled it.
My God. Now, I have a question for you, Brad. I've been asked this and I can't do it. There is absolutely no way. If you are trading at Duffy and you needed a halfback and you don't have the cash to go to Hines or to Cleary, I'm just a no for it, and that's Adam Reynolds. Despite the fact the Broncos have got a good draw coming up, negative break even. What's your thoughts on Adam Reynolds, mate?
Oh, look, I don't get why you would be doing it. But he is going to make about 100 grand. So 100 grand is usually about our magic number we like to see our players make before we trade them out. So you've actually made, in about 2 games, he's going to make about 120, 130 grand or something over the next 2 weeks. So there's your dough. I mean, he has one of the biggest negative break evens running around. So that part of it I get. But why you wouldn't be taking the money to be made out of Humphries, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what world there is where you wouldn't go Humphries. So, yeah, that bit I don't get.
I think people are looking at the draw, Brad, and it's actually quite good. You've got Cowboys, Dolphins, and Tigers next 3 games.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there is money there to be made. So, yeah, certainly with Reynolds. There's no doubt. I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Personally, no. I'm going to go the other direction. I know he's, a rookie and all of that, but you don't get rookie halves at that price very often. And from what I've seen, we'll keep riding his coattails for the moment.
All right, let's roll. Yep, Sharks in the South. I'm actually going to be out at this game because I've promised the kids I'd take them out to this one. So I'm sorry, girls, but you're probably going to be disappointed, but we're going anyway. For the Sharks, no changes for this week. For the Rabbitohs, Jack Whiten's back from suspension. Fletcher Myers pulls out to the wing, and Bentley Hape drops out. Ravarawa is lifted at 18th man. Tallis Duncan's been named despite he had suffered a hamstring injury. He may still be out this week, so keep an eye on that. Not that anyone owns him. Lachlan Hubner's out for a 2-game ban for crusher tackle, and Liam LeBlanc has been added to the bench. Brad, I tell you what, oh my God, there is so much points in this. Going to be so much points for the Sharks in this game. And looking at that side that the Souths are rolling out, I am so happy I'm an AFB owner this week.
Look, I think we did well. We saw this last week. We thought, okay, this is how the script is going to go in the Penrith Christian game. It go that way. You would think, looking at their centres there and the way that Edge has been performing, the Knights are going to see a lot of traffic. With the back 5, you ever look at the back 5 from the Sharks last week? None of them went under 70 points. They're monsters, and they love to bully teams. When they get over the top of a team, they get there and they just bully. That's the way the Sharks play. Unfortunately, they can't do that against top 4 teams because they haven't, I think, beaten the top 4 teams for about 3 years. It's quite a mad statistic there that comes up. I might not be 100% right on that, but I'm damn close. So if you got Hubner, he's a hold, He's gonna
I think so. Yeah.
Just hold.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, he's got a break even of. Sorry, my phone is a bit slow at the moment, but
I can look.
Just quickly on that one too, Brad. I think a couple of ones we spoke about on Sunday night was Sam Stonestreet, Cale Hero. If you're looking for a bit of a pod in the centre wing, I don't mind either of those two as well. But yeah, Saturday Arvo 3 o'clock game. There we go. -23 is his break even for Lachlan Hubner. So he's definitely a hold. Definitely a hold. Yeah. Flap Track Bullies 3 o'clock game, Brad, on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. If you've got a Sharks player, play them. They're definitely all to play this week. If you are bringing in the young halfback here from South, I wouldn't be playing him this week. I know he has a Supercoach friendly game, but these are the ones you probably, myself, I'd be stashing him and putting my face a bit elsewhere. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I wish I could do Duffy to Humphreys in one trade, but I can't. I don't have enough cash, so yeah, a bit stuck at the moment on what I'm going to do at this stage.
All right, Dolphins versus Tigers. Here we go. The Tigers.
Here we go. This will be the game. This has got to be the game of the round, hasn't it? For sure. Two sides that can't defend, right?
That's right.
Right, for the Dolphins, I don't know why, but they've got actually, Jack Bostock and Finafaku come back into the team. I know they don't. They're named on the extended bench. So my bad. Sorry, boys. Sorry, guys who are listening. They're both named on the extended bench. Bostock's come back from an knee injury and Finafaku from concussion protocols. So keep an eye for the late mail on that one. Late changes. For the Tigers, Dream Buller has been named despite he was in a moon boot earlier this week. Heath Mason is part of the extended squad, but again, won't affect anything because no one owns either of those two guys. Other than that, there's no changes for the legendary Tigers. I don't have anything to say on this game except for the Brad. We know Tim's got him. Luai is definitely a sell. No questions asked.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, 100%.
And if you don't have Terrell May, well, you know, he may not make you a lot of cash. He's got to break even at 24. He won't make you huge cash, but the points will do it alone.
That's one for you, Magic Mike. Mike often tunes in on a Sunday night. Magic, get Terrell May in. First trade you do this week should be to get him in.
A couple other ones I don't mind for the Tigers, Brad, just as a bit of a pottish option is Stafford Tower. He's quite cheap. And also Joel Skelton at around about 500K has been a tackle-busting machine. Shit.
We've had a listener comment. He says, Ross, man, the Dolphins just messaged him and said, Piniaki to you too. Yeah, Piniaki. Play Queensland.
Yeah. Give him proper last names to make it easy to pronounce, you know?
Well, I like Stafford Tower, but you don't have to do anything this week. It's next week you want to consider.
What are you doing? Safe's got to be a sell, hasn't he, Brad? I mean, he's been a bit underwhelming.
But he would be the last to sell. And it depends what your team's looking like. I mean, but yes, you're not going to lose a huge amount of money, but you're not going to kill you to hold him because he's already sort of mid-range anyway.
430 with a break even of 50. He ain't going to bloody hurt you.
So the ones that you want to, and I'll use this as an example. So I'll be very upfront. I'm selling Hopgood this week, but Hopgood has a BE of 115. But at 650,000, the amount of money he's going to lose in the next 2 weeks is huge, right? Mm-hmm. But you've only got to play at about 400,000 or 300,000. They can't actually lose 100 grand. So. Yeah, you might lose a few dollars here or there, but they're probably your last trade on your list. So if you're going to trade out players, make sure you're trading out the ones that are just going to kill you, right? Absolutely kill you money-wise. A rock bottom player is probably your last trade you want to get rid of if that makes the money-wise.
Yep, 100% agree. Yeah. Anything else? Tommy Gilbert doing a job, Brad, again. We've
got Jared Watto. G'day, Watto.
Watto. Hey,
man. Watto really knows his Supercoach. He loves his draft. He's a draft nut. I think he spanked me in a draft 2 weeks ago in the first week of a draft I'm in with him. Tigers got the best defence in the league at the moment, though conceded the least amount of points. Rossco won't last long, but enjoy it while we can.
Well, yes, Jared, I agree with you. I mean, we missed, 55 tackles against Newcastle. Any other decent team probably would have put about 60 on us. But, Jared, I'm just annoyed we left that last try in, Watto. I mean, I'm not happy. I wanted to keep Para scoreless, so not happy with that one. But anyway.
All right, so Ooh, what's going to happen in this game? Titans versus the Knights. This could be anything. What have we got here? What's happening?
For the Titans, Camper is out with a calf injury. Tony Francis comes in on the wing. And Isaac, Tino's brother, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, has been added to the bench in replace of Jamil Jolliffe, who's out with a calf injury. For the Knights, Leo Thompson is out with a knee injury, and KPP is suspended, both out. Brodie Jones comes into the front row, and Alan Elliott starts at lock, and Thomas comes onto the bench. Now, just quickly, for anyone who's looking to buy any Newcastle players this week, please take into mind that they have a bye next week. So if you've already loaded up with a few Knights players, just be wary of that.
Yeah, that's absolutely. And unfortunately, the Knights got some really relevant players there, but you don't touch them this week, which is very unfortunate, because there's about 2 or 3 of them I love, but I've already got 3. So I mean, I can't go anywhere with them. And you're not going to touch any. Would you touch any Titans at the moment? I mean, the feeder off the bench again. What did you get last week? 30 minutes.
Yeah. The only one would be Tino, Brad. He's going to be. I know he's very highly traded in this week, but I don't hate the trade, Brad. I know he's only played 1 game. He scored 109 points. Yes, he did score a try, but in a team that got flogged, right? Yeah. I thought he was outstanding in that game, like probably their best player by a mile. So if you want to get him this week, if you like you, Brad, I know you want to get rid of Hopgood. If you're going Hopgood to Tino or something like that, I love it. I really love that trade this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there, Ted. Sharp, Teddy from over the ditch. He's love watching Fletcher Sharp. Man, so I just I'm waiting for him to get that dual positioning into 5'8" before I'm hopeful that my 5'8" that I have is going to make enough money, or somebody will make enough money.
Well, he can't, Brad.
Yeah,
he can't, because he's already got a dual position.
Or can't you have a 3 kind of position?
No, you can't have 3, mate. You see, CTW fullback never been allowed to. Can't have a triple dual, mate. When have you ever seen a triple dual?
Well, we've got one now. I mean, this bloke is at 5'8". He should be fucking available at 5'8".
I understand that, but that's not the way that they've rolled it. And you can't change it. It can't be changed.
That's ridiculous. We should
listen. If you want to put in a complaint, and send an email to Sangster, okay?
Yeah, all right. But yeah, he should be there. All right.
What did he play? He only played like 2 games or something in centre wing last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
It wasn't many. I don't know how they work it out, Brad. I got no idea, eh? Don't know.
Boys, there's a few questions there, which I'm going to leave to the end. So thank you very much for shooting them through. I'm not ignoring you, but they're sort of more end questions rather than on the runs as we're looking at each team. But
down, Brad. Down, Brad. You missed the game. Go down, boy. Go down. There we go.
Really?
You missed the game. You missed the game of the round.
Do we have to look at Parramatta?
Shit. I just looked at that team now, and I'm like, where is Charlie Goomer? He's not there again. This is doing my head in. Seriously. All right. Okay, let's scroll through this quickly.
Dean
Hawkins. Yeah.
Dean Hawkins, I see, is at number 7 for Parramatta.
Yeah.
Relative with Stephen Hawkins.
So Dean Hawkins comes in at halfback, and Ronald Bachman's been dropped. Adokar has served his suspension. He's listed amongst the reserves. Why would you list him amongst the reserves? He's going to start. I'd say Samarani will be the one who probably misses out there. For the Bulldogs, Burton and Kikau are out. Bailey Hayward comes in to 5'8". And as expected, Satili Tupanua takes over in the back row. And Kurt Moran and Daniel Fafita have been added to the bench. My God, I do not want to own one single Parramatta player. I don't have Iongi. If you got Dylan Brown, see you later. Get him out of there before he loses you a ton of cash. Brad, you talk for a minute. I'm just going to check his break even, see how high it is.
Yeah, I would be. Well, I don't know what his break even is, but I would be certainly getting rid of Dylan Brown.
He's got a break even of 99. Get rid of him. See you later. Trade him to Munster or whoever.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. Unless this Dean Hawkins is a magic man, I'm not sure what's going to happen in this game. There's a few. The problem here, particularly for Parramatta, is in the forwards. There's been a few rumours, and a few other podcasters have said. I was listening to and talking to one of the boys from Playbook the other night, and they were making their assumption is that Riles does not want to win a game. That all he's doing is treating each one of these games like it's a trial, and that's why he's just flicking around these forwards so much and just seeing what's going to land, who's going to be the best one, and I just don't know what's going on there.
So I'm very confused with this because my understanding is when Jason Rolls signed with Para as coach, he wanted to have full control over the team. He's got full control over that team. He's got guys. He's got more experience in his New South Wales Cup team currently than what he's got in his first grade team, right? You look at that. You look at that. Those forwards, other than Paulo, Offengoe, and Sean Lane, where's your experience? There is none. Look at that bench. Those blokes on that bench have probably played 10 games between them.
Now, a good example here is that, look, and I actually quite like that young centre, winger, Jordan.
I thought he had a good game too. Yep.
Samurai. However, the last 2 years, we've seen that Josiah Papali in the trials, and he's fucking killed them. And what has this bloke got to do to actually get a start in proper NRL? He has killed it in the trials every year, and he did this early. I don't know if he caught it, but he was just crazy.
Well, I'd certainly have him in the team over Sean Russell. That's for sure. I'd be getting rid of Sean Russell, but you've got to get Addo Carr back in there as well. So, you know, whether Samarani and Russell miss out and you bring in Addo Carr and Papali, I don't know. I'm with you, Brad. I just don't think he's picking a team that wants to win. And if you watch the game on the weekend, you've got a bloke who's just been signed on a 10-year deal for $1.3 million a season by Newcastle, who clearly does not want to be there, Brad. There was no directing the traffic, no calling the plays, no nothing. I don't even think I saw him out there that game against the Tigers. I don't understand. I don't get it. The fans must be fuming. They've got to be.
Now, there was a few people around the Supercoach world who bought in Stilly to Banua last week for all of his
got lucky.
But, yeah, they've got lucky because you got to start. I'm not going to jump all over him at that price at the moment. My emphasis is really on cash generation in other areas. Yeah. But, yeah, look, for a couple of weeks, he's not going to be a bad option for you if you got him. Good on you. You did well.
But, like, I still never understood, and I understand, Brad, that they you know, I didn't break this down to the top 5%, but I think nearly 6,000 still traded him in last week, despite the fact that he was starting off the bench. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people, I said, there's a lot of people, these wouldn't be serious players.
All right, I'll quickly go through the Manly versus Canberra game. Tom Trbojevic and Daly Cherry Evans have both been named. But there is a but. Jake Arthur is in the extended bench. And Tommy Talau is also on the extended bench. Both of them.
Okay. Yeah, Vega's there too. Vega's there as well.
In Vegas. So they've got options if, obviously, Lehigh would go back to fullback and one of those would go onto the wing. You could also do the same. Tommy Talau can play centre quite adequately, and Garrett can go back to fullback. So they've got a few options there if Tommy isn't going to play. So it is a little bit scary. The big problem is it's played. Is this the second last or last game of the round?
The last game of the round.
That's the last game.
So the coach came out today and said, Seabold said that he will give them up till the captain's run. If they go okay in the captain's run, which will be Saturday, so we will know Saturday. But even then, it's still too late to do anything with a trade if Turbo is out. So you could be potentially having to sit a player like him on the pine. So my suggestion is, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, Brad, do not have Turbo in your starting side. Have him on your bench as a reserve. And if you've got someone, and just hope that you can change him to someone from either of these two teams that you can swap him out to. It just might be something. You might have like a Tamale or something like that, Brad, that you can swap it like the reserve to. Do you get what I'm saying, don't you? Or a Nicholson or anyone like that.
Now, that's talking about that, Canberra, all of a sudden, they've won a couple of games, so they've become very relevant, Supercoach-wise. Tamale is certainly he's just going to be swapped around according to who's injured and where they're injured. But Tamale is a purchase if you have that luxury that you know, per due to Tamale, you actually make about 60 grand.
I'm doing it. And I think that'll then give me the cash to do Duffy to Humphreys too.
You're going to be very close.
Oh, yeah. I'll be close. I've got about 90K in the bank, Brad. It's going to be tight.
Corey Horsburgh, if you don't own him, well, you know, come on, Corey Horsburgh, get serious. You got to get him in. Big Red, we love him. I've said I actually like him. I know he cries at the end of a game. I know he cries during the middle of a game, and he does dumb shit. He's a colourful character. We need more. We need bland people that just tell the cliche response at the end of the game, and He
had a try assist and a try contribution on Saturday too against the Broncos as well. Now, Brad, Matty Nicholson, I do not jump on him this week. Plain and simple. Okay, I understand Zach Hoskins is out, so if you got him, he's definitely a sell, as per my buy, hold, and sell article. Zach Hoskins is out 3 to 5 weeks. Do not go this week. Wait another week and see what happens. You do not have to get him this week unless you need. I don't even know. Like, if you need the cash, I still probably wouldn't make the trade. To be honest with you, I just don't like it, Brad.
Yeah, no, I don't really like it. I think surely, I mean, there's not too much distance in price between Dominic and Jetski. Now, we know Jetski's living on borrowed time there. But even if Jetski scores 30 or 40 points, he's going to make about 30 or 40 grand. So that's going to give me enough cash to easily go Jetski just straight to Matty Nicholson next week. So that will be the plan. And it makes sense. So you wait a week. You know, what would happen if you got him this week and he gets injured? Like, you go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
No, that's no good.
One more player I want to speak about, Brad, is Tom Starling. Talk to me about Tom Starling.
Well, the only thing I'll say about Tom Starling is, yes, you can get him in. Yes, he has some very nice cash to make. He does have another hooker sitting there on the bench, but Ricky's been very careful with his minutes there. I got burnt with hookers and Canberra last year big time. As I think, Rossco, you started with Danny Levi, so I think you got burnt.
No, I didn't. I had the other two spuds from Parramatta. I had the bloody two geriatrics, Brendan Hand and whoever the other bloke was, Joey Lussick.
So, but I'm just saying that I've been there before, and Ricky can be very fluctuating in his minutes. Now, the only thing with Tom Starling too is that some of those points are very attack orientated. Last week, I think he got a try. So it's not like you're coming off a huge base, which, you know, say some of the other really elite hookers do have a huge base. Not that we have money running around. So I can understand why you do it, but not for me at this point in time.
I think too, Brad, as well, the other thing to factor in is that Tom Starling's actually off contract at the end of the season. And he has not been. He's actually going. They've already signed Jaden Brayley, right? Yeah. So the hookers are going to be Jaden Brayley, and that'll be Owen Paddy. So, is there going to be enough money to be made there to warrant the two trades? Because you've got to remember, this is costing you two trades. It ain't costing you one trade.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right, a couple of quick questions here before we wrap it up. Yeah, here's a good one. Aaron Parsons, Bergs, the old Bergs.
Go
G'day.
Bergsy. What's going on, bro?
Do you boost regardless? Just get the cash. Yes, you boost. This week is a week to boost. To me,
100%. 100%. Yeah.
I haven't spoken to anyone who's not boosting. I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, I'm not at the moment, but I don't really have to be honest with you. So I'm actually in a position where I probably don't need to boost this week. I know. Yeah, really.
Made somewhere. There'd be somebody who's got to be more cash fluent than one of your spuds that you've got.
Well, it's going to be Purdue to Marley, so that'll get rid of one spud, and then Duffy to Humphries gets rid of another spud. And I've already got all the players who are making money. I've already got all the other cheapies, Shibasaki, Arthurs. I've got all these guys. I don't think I need to boost this week, mate, to be honest with you.
By the way, we didn't really spend much time on Jesse Arthurs. Jesse Arthurs is another one that would be highly. He's going to make over 100 just this week alone. If he gets a try this week, you're probably going to make another. Yeah,
he's
grand a week after.
He's got a projected price rise of 120k if he scores 56. So if he turns up again, he's making you 150 this week alone. Yeah. And with that draw, as I said, Dolphins and Tigers coming up. Oh, it's juicy, Marusi. You will be able to probably trade him to Brian Toto if you want in 3 or 4 weeks.
All right, fellas, trades this week. Thoughts on Barnett to Lucas, Duffy to Humphries, Purdue to Damali.
I like it.
Oh man, there's nothing wrong in any of that. Just remember, you got to cover Lucas next week, though, Watto. That's the only caveat to that. Yeah,
I will just say on that because he's also got. Do we think that Arthur's is a must cash for the cash grab? Honestly, Watto, I would do Purdue to Arthur's over Purdue to Tamale if you got the cash to do it. You're going to get a lot more cash out of Arthur's than what you're going to get at Tamale, and you've got job security with Arthur's as well, and a much better draw.
Don't forget, somebody like Arthur's, you're only going to hold him for around about 4 or 5 weeks max. 4 weeks. If you hold him for 5 weeks, he's expected to hit, I think they're projecting nearly 600. So you flick him at that point. You go, fuck that. I'm going to ball.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What did Timmy say about it? He said, Watto, I like the trades.
Yeah.
Preferred, so he's Timmy's come into that one saying that he as well would prefer the Watson trade. All right, what else have we got there? We got much else?
No, I think that's it.
That's it.
Unless you've got more questions, I think that's it.
No, I think that's about all the questions today. Short and sharp. That's how we like it on a Teamless Tuesday. Get in there, rates, trade your ass off, have fun. G'day to those that are listening to us later on, because I know there's quite a few of the Sunday crew that will tune in later because they're all at work, etc. Thank you to the boys. Thank you to Big Ted. Thank you, Watto. Thank you, Bergs. Thank you.
Big nuts.
Yeah,
don't forget big nuts.
Oh, my God. We do have a last question that's coming in. You wouldn't guess who it's from.
God.
Luai, you got to sell him, Tim. Sell him. Do not hold on to Luai under any circumstance this week. Right? If in the 5/8, you got about 5 or 6.
Luai to anybody. Absolutely anybody. Take your pick. Yeah.
I prefer Dewey, actually, but that would be my pick. But at only mid-400s, you're going to make 100 grand. Dewey's going to make money this week coming. And his position, you are. All right. A few of them are signing off. 100%. Munster. Game Munster would be another one he's going to make money big time when his time comes. Big Dicker says, "May the force be with us." I don't know. What's he on over there?
Oh,
He's talking about the force. That must be
It's not
some
the
real.
fourth. It's not the fourth. It's not the 4th of May today. I know that.
All right, many thanks everybody for joining us again. Rossco,
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Thank you for guiding us through all those teams. Good luck. Race showed your ass off, like I said, and have fun.
See you
And we'll
Sunday.
catch you next time.